Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome to This is Football. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Liverpool review. Obviously, we're here to talk all things Liverpool. I know YouTube is bugging out with the concurrent viewers count. Obviously, there's more than one person right now watching us. But big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to This is Football if you're ready to do so. Before the thing bugged out, there was about 70, 80 people in here already. So please do hit the like button. Please do subscribe. This is you watching us. Let me just give you the tutorial. So this is you watching us. You need the like button more than ever today. Hit the X button, hit the like button right here. Every single one of you, please hit the like button. Subscribe to This is Football. And yeah, today we're here to talk all things Liverpool. Arne slot, Jurgen Klopp's last season, Salah getting a contract, all things Liverpool Football Club on today's video. So joining us first and foremost is my favorite wool in the whole world. Man like Tom Little. How are you doing, Tom?
Whoa, what happened to nice intros?
That's a nice intro.
It's not, but we'll move on. First off, people, big ups to everyone in the chat, big ups to everyone watching. Arne slot, na 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 na. Arne slot, na 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 na. You're gonna sing it eventually, Sam. One stream, you're gonna sing it eventually.
Can't get me
Back
to
the
sing
manager, back the new gaffer, back the new gaffer.
Say swear that's how you're starting already. Back the new gaffer, yeah? There you are.
He's the best ball manager in the league.
I'm not gonna. Oh yeah, he's about to win me the league. Okay. Yeah, win me the league with Nunez and Diaz again. There you are.
To be fair, if he can just keep Jota fit, we're fine. If he's a medical worker and he can keep Jota fit, we're fine.
Maybe he gives him special massages after the game or something.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the only way to keep him fit. Anyway, big up to all of you in the chat. Redmond is not here yet, but we saw Tabang give us a suggestion. Oh, if he's not here, why not just start the stream? So you're a fraud, Tabang. So here we started the stream. Happy now? Fraud. Anyway, Tom, obviously this season, oh my god, I'm gonna time him out.
He hasn't just said what I think he's just said, has he?
He just got timed out. I've had enough of his shit already. Anyway, slap the like button, subscribe. I'm gonna message James now, try find out where the hell he is. But Tom, overall thoughts on Liverpool this season? Talk to me, brother.
We achieved what we had to achieve. And the manner in which we went about it probably leaves a bit of a sour taste. But going into the season, I wanted back in the Champions League, a domestic cup win and a Europa League win. Now, we failed on the Europa League win. But the other two, we matched exactly what I wanted to do domestically. And to be honest, we overachieved in terms of what I thought we could do in the league, in terms of how long we took it with the state the squad ended up being in. We saw a lot of development from a lot of young players. I think that next season we've got a real interesting makeup of a squad. I can see, whilst I might not agree with it, I can see why the rumours and stuff are that there's not going to be many signings because of the fact that we've got a lot of young players who deserve opportunities next year. They've earned opportunities next year. There's the usual candidates who let us down. Diaz. But
carry on. Why did you leave one guy out?
Nunez as well. I forgot Nunez.
Yeah, Nunez as well, yeah.
I forgot Donkey and Puss in Boots in front of the goal. That they let us down. But ultimately, we achieved what we set out to achieve this year. The only thing about it is I was expecting this to be like year one of Klopp's 2.0. But it's now we're moving into year one of a new guy's setup, and it's going to be interesting to watch. But we've got a really strong foundation. I think, like I said in the last stream, there is no Liverpool manager in the Premier League era has inherited the club in a better state than what Slot is inheriting it in. So there's a lot to look forward to in that sense. Obviously, I thought the season was actually really good. I enjoyed the journey of this season a lot. There's been a lot of good moments. Obviously, the last month and a half, didn't go the way we wanted to. But from August until start of April, it was a bloody good season. I was enjoying a lot of it. We had a lot of good moments. It says a lot that Jurgen Klopp feels the best performance we had under him came this season in that Man City draw at home. You're thinking about stream. So if I'm like, you had Newcastle, both Newcastle games were great for different reasons. Both Newcastle games were great for different reasons. You've had good games against City and that, but ultimately, this season was just about consolidating. No one expected us to do what we did this year with the overhaul we had. I think McAllister shocked a lot of people with how good he is. I think Endo shocked a lot of people with how good he is. I think Szoboszlai gave us
how good he is
at the start of the
Endo
season.
shocked a lot of people.
Yes, because people expected Endo to not really play, but he came in and was actually a really good DM for us for points.
He's supposed to be the Milner replacement.
Szoboszlai at the start of the season gave me a lot to like. He gave me a lot to like. Obviously, it tailed off a lot towards
That's
the
why
back
I'm not
end,
giving up on him.
but
He gave me signs.
That first 3 months,
First 3 months of the season, Szoboszlai was like,
oh, he was our best player for the first 3 months, and then he just curtailed, which was
best player. Why do you always over the top? Don't go over the top. Don't say he was
best midfielder then. Best midfielder then. Would you like best midfielder?
Yes,
fine. You can have best midfielder.
Correct.
In that time frame, and then obviously it fell off a lot quite at the end, but that's why there's a lot to back there. Gravenberch gave you glimpses. Obviously, we need to see a lot more from him, but there was moments and there was bursts and stuff. But I look at the season as a whole. It's a solid building block season. I think if Slot can come in now and really kick on and use these foundations that were laid this year, I think we're on for something really good. I think we're on for a really successful season here. Mate, we could challenge next year. 100% we could. My bare minimum expectation is another season like this in the league. But if we take that next step under him, I'm buzzing. But for me, I want to see us, again, we need consistency. I think that was the one thing that, for varying reasons, we never really had under Klopp. We never had a 4-year spell where we were consistent, if you get me. You'd have 2 years and then the injuries, and then a year back up, and then didn't make the right decisions in the transfer market, and then a year back up again. If we can now just get consistency in terms of the squad and everything, I think we'll be fine. I think we can really kick on.
Staying on this season, tell me your top 3 performers this year and your 3 worst performers this year.
Machin, Van Dijk, and Salah. Not in that order, just that they're the 3 best. And the 3 worst.
Chat, same question to you. Tell me 3 best, 3 worst.
It's actually a real tough one, that one. Gravenberch.
Gravenberch in the worst list?
Yes.
What the fuck's wrong with you? How is Gravenberch in the worst list?
Well, because who else am I going to put there? Like,
not Gravenberch.
The other 2 for me would probably end up being Diaz and Nunez. Even though Diaz and Nunez had decent seasons numbers wise, it's the big moments that stick in your mind. Endo had a decent season. I can't judge anyone who was injured for a lot of time. So
obviously you're not gonna say Matip, are you? Like, we know that.
No, Matip was good anyway when he played. But like for me, it comes down to like what we're looking at. The shortlist is Robertson, but I think Robertson had higher moments, and he was out injured for a lot of the season. Tsimikas was fine this season, so I'm not putting him in that shortlist for the worst performers. None of the centre backs go in there. None of the goalkeepers go in there. In fact, they're unlucky to miss out on the best performers. None of the right backs go in there. Midfield wise, Endo no, Jones no, McAllister no, Szoboszlai no, Gravenberch like Gravenberch, yes, you could argue. And in the attack, Gakpo no, Jota no, Salah no, Diaz yes, and Nunez yes. The only argument I can hear is arguably Robertson, if you get me. So if you want to put Robertson in, whilst I disagree, I'll say fair enough. But for me, that's the worst. It doesn't mean they were bad. It just means they were worse. That they were the worst.
You cannot say, by the way, Nags, you're so shameless. You cannot say worst Thiago. The guy didn't even play. How is he the worst performer? We're not saying who's the worst fitness-wise. We're saying, bro, who's the worst performance-wise? Like, if it's fitness-wise, let's just go Thiago, Matip, and, like, you know, whoever the hell got injured. Like, come on, man. Don't be shameless. Said worst Thiago. He didn't even play. He didn't even play. My top 3 performers this season. McAllister, Van Dijk, Mo Salah.
Okay, now we've agreed on something, Sam. How the fuck have we done that?
Worst 3 performers. Number 1, Diaz. Number 2, Nunez. Number 3, Andy Robertson.
I knew you were going to say Robertson. I knew you were going to say
But it's the truth, Tom, whether you like it or not. I think first man, you know, and like every single game, corners for you know, to lose your mind over. There is literally nothing good about Robertson this whole year. It's just simple as that. I did combined 11s with troops, with preview streams and shit like that. And I was literally ready to vote Zinchenko over Robertson as in my fucking starting 11. That's how bad Robertson has been this season. So let's not even do any of that stuff. So
I don't think he's been as bad as you make out, but fair enough. That's where me and you are going to disagree. But hey ho.
So your only argument is Gravenberch because he was bad for like the 2 games that he came on as a sub.
No, what did Gravenberch do outside of against FC Union Gilloise from October till fucking March?
There you are.
His best games came as a sub in an FA Cup game. How many times do we watch him going, fucking hell?
No, I think his best game was Fulham.
Yes, that was after March.
Oh, you're saying before March?
Yes, we had like a 4-month period, but he didn't do anything.
This is a good question. Who actually got our player of the season, by the way?
I don't think it's been awarded yet.
Who do you think gets it? I think Virgil gets it.
I think McAllister got like the fan one. So there's a golden samba thing which fans give. So McAllister got the players one. Elliott got young player, and Klopp got like the big award for like service to the club.
Fans know ball, to be fair, because McAllister is definitely I think is a fantastic shot. Should be McAllister, Virgil. I don't know. Are you sure McAllister got an award, bro? Where the hell do you see this news, Tom?
What's that? I will show you now. It's not an official club award. It's like one of the ones that the fans do.
Bro, what award did he win?
He won the Golden Samba.
What the hell is that?
It's a fan award given to the best player. There, look. See the golden shoe he's got?
What's more, can you move it to the left, towards your face? Move it towards your face because of the windows.
What? Like that?
Okay, now come close. Exact same angle. Come close.
And then the window's there. But you see the golden shoe he's got?
Yeah, the thing in his hand. That's the fan voted what? Best player of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So let me ask you a question now. Moving on. Before we move on, big up to Ed. Ray, I'm leaving your super chat till James arrives if he does. Tom slotting for slot is what Ed says. He's already on the bullshit, man. He's already on the bullshit.
He's Michael Edwards' guy. I will live and die on that. I wanted Edwards back more than anything, so I live and die on that.
Your reaction by game week 10. We'll see what happens. But anyway, we're here to talk about this season. So let's just go back to that. So let me ask you a question, Tom. Since we're here to talk about this season. Big up to everyone locked in. I don't know how many people are locked in, but we are on 115 likes. So make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to This Is Football if you're ready to do so. Every single one of you guys, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Thank you to Ed and Ray Ray. Ray Ray, I'm just leaving your super chat till James actually arrives. If he does, I've tried calling him. Like, there's nothing more I can do. So, Thomas Little. Jurgen Klopp, final year, last season as Liverpool manager.
Yep.
What's the impact Jurgen Klopp has had on Liverpool Football Club? Just tell me overall, because I feel like we need to give Jurgen Klopp alone a segment.
He is the best manager I have ever seen in my lifetime for this football club. He will probably remain the best manager I will ever see in my lifetime for this football club. The job he's done, the impact he's had, not just on the club but on the city, has been remarkable. He rebuilt a club that, for whatever reason, was horrendous in that point. There was drama in the boardroom. It was horrendous on the pitch. He unified it very quickly. Everyone got behind the ideas, and he led us on the best sort of journey we've had in the Premier League era. He won us that first Premier League title, which is always going to be massive. So many great nights under him. Developed so many players. He built one of the greatest Liverpool sides this club will ever see. One of the greatest Premier League sides the league will ever see in terms of its peak level performance. There's not more I can say about him. He's generally just the most impactful manager we have ever had. And in the Premier League, obviously barring the Shankleys and the Paisleys, but people have been saying that Klopp is the modern day Shankly, and there's a lot.
He is definitely the modern day Shankly because he's the one that rebuilt everything.
There's a lot of weight to that statement.
Didn't Shankly also only win one title in 9 years? I swear.
I think Shankly won a little bit more than that, but Shankly was here
for
longer.
No, Shankly didn't. I'm about to check it right now. I think he has one league title.
No, he won 3.
No. Two of them were second division, I believe. Let me check right now.
No, he won 3. He won 1 second division, 3 first divisions, 2 FA Cups, and a UEFA Cup.
Football League first division 3 times. Yeah, he did 3 times. Second division once. FA Cup twice. And basically the Europa League in 1973.
And obviously Paisley took over and just went boom with it.
Yeah, Paisley is the one that took it to the crazy extreme. YouTube is just lagging. I don't know why it said. Obviously, we have more than 15 people watching us. Like, I know this, brother. Because we're on 120 likes. So yeah. So hit the like button, guys. That'll be an indicator. Can you just write a dot in the chat if you're watching right now? Just to gauge how many people are watching. But carry on, Tom.
But yeah, the impact Klopp's had cannot be understated. He said something which I really liked. Obviously, there's the whole doubters to believers thing, but he says he didn't turn us from doubters to believers. He just reminded us of what we could achieve when we believed, and I think that's especially what he's done. He reminded us what we were. He put Liverpool back on that map. Before he came in, we were just we lost a lot of that rep that we had. We were stuck in the past, and he came in and he basically reminded Europe and the world, this is what Liverpool is. This is Liverpool. There's a reason why they are the most successful English club in European competitions. There's a reason why they are the biggest club in England. That's what he's done, and for that I'll be forever thankful. Obviously, there was bad moments in a spell, but the good times will always shine through. And I'm glad that he's left on his terms, and I'm glad that he's left on a high, so that whenever in the future I'm talking to my kids and my grandkids, I can tell them about a man called Jurgen Klopp in the same way my dad and granddad used to tell me about Shankly and Paisley and Fagan and Dalglish. I've now got a manager who I can sit there and bore my kids to death with talking about just how good Jurgen Klopp was and the teams he built were. And that's like the biggest compliment I can give him, because for about 20 years we had none of that. The best we had was Benitez, who won the Champions League and didn't an FA Cup, and that was it. Jurgen Klopp made us the best team in the world for 2 years.
But I don't know who to go to first. I'm going to go to you, Tom, as Liverpool got smacked up today. What are you saying?
It's okay, Tom.
Jurgen, mate, I love you, but it's time to go. I think this is what it's come to. I don't think the players are buying into it anymore. I really don't, because I looked at that game beforehand. I looked at it and I thought, he's put out our best 11. He put out our best 11.
That was the last time ever we're going to play that one, Tom. Halas. 3 days, because we're not.
We all make mistakes in life. We all make
That's
mistakes.
fine.
That was just a particularly big one.
No, I understand. One of my big mistakes is meeting Just Tabang. That was one of the big mistakes I've ever met. Sometimes, no, I understand people make mistakes. However, that's a big mistake, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
do you know what, Hassan? It takes a man to make a mistake and own up to it, and I owned up to it very quickly.
I made a mistake yesterday, but let me not say anything. Oh my God, we're back on the same thing again, and for fuck's sake. Remember, this is the same ad that kept running this all year long. Didn't all your kids play for club anyway? Tell them, Tom, tell them about your kids playing for Ed, you're such a crook. You're such a crook, honestly.
Honestly, I hate the fact this is on the internet, because eventually, years down the line, someone's going to pull this up and ask me, what were they on about there? And I'm going to have to reveal a whole story about how apparently I looked like one of the Liverpool Academy kids. And then I just became the father to about 7 of them.
And the funny part, Tom,
was
they just made you the dad of everyone. There was a point in time where you were like your Kumas's dad, you were Conor Bradley's dad, you were one guy said Jaden Dad's. Which is that one is obviously genetically impossible, to be fair. So yeah, it's just that was funny. That was funny, to be fair. I don't know if he will join or not. I've called him twice. Khalas. If he won't join, me and Tom are here. Don't worry. Slots, Stockhev. Actually, let me keep this to the side. Big up James. Only one who isn't a fraud on this panel. I'll reread this to him if he comes back. Hussam, well done for not putting Mac Purple Patch in your team of the season. Once again, for the 500th time, Ray, you absolute idiot. 7 months is not a purple patch. That's 3/4 of the season.
Mm-hmm.
How can you say he was good in a purple patch? And plus, me and Tom both put him in.
Do you know what I hate about Ryan? Do you know what I hate about Ryan? If you were to ask him right now, the one midfielder who hasn't turned his back on the season's been fucking Gravenberch.
He's weird.
He's chopped and changed with everyone. Ryan just sits there and does the wrong opinion, hoping that it eventually becomes right, and it never fucking does.
Yeah.
McAllister has not had a purple patch season. McAllister has. If you were to do a team of the season based on 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, 3 attackers, on pure midfield, McAllister can get in. You've got Rice, you got Rice, Rodri, and then it's a toss up between the others. And I think McAllister is between McAllister, Odegaard. Yeah, I'm not including Kevin De Bruyne because he missed fucking 4 months. So it's between McAllister and Odegaard for that 3rd midfield spot. But you can put Foden or Palmer into that midfield. That's where they take that spot because they've got to be in there. If you were doing pure
midfield, I'm read the end of
midfielders,
that super chat, but love Ryan.
I mean, if anyone else wants to super chat the Arne slot chant, I will sing it, but not Ray, not Mr. 16 out of 10.
Yeah, I ain't gonna sing it. I don't know what I don't even want to put a price on it. I just don't want to sing it right now. Big up to
How
you.
close are we to the ban Ray fund?
The ban Ray fund? It's not there yet.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's not
Shit
there
like
yet.
this. Shit
Plus,
like this.
I'm not
makes me
running
want
it right
fucking
now.
donate.
I'm not running it right now. I'm running it during the transfer window. Tom, you know he's the most annoying during the transfer window. You know this.
Oh, we just any player. We can be linked for a player for a week. For the first 3 days of that week, he'll be all over them, and then for the last 4 days of the week, he'll be against them. And it's the worst sign you could ever make. He doesn't make sense.
Ryan probably wants Salah sold. Fraud. Tom. Clown. Hold that, Tom. Respectfully hold that.
I'm glad Salah's staying. By the way, did you see his post?
We'll talk about that in a bit. I want to talk about Slot first. Slot's talkativity worries me. 5-6 signings needed. I want to keep the super chat up on the screen. Guys, slap the like button. Slap the like button right now. Subscribe.
I mean,
tell me.
The talkativity doesn't bother me because
tell me about Slot overall. So let's open up the Slot can of worms.
He's Edwards' guy. He's Edwards' guy, and I said at the time.
Not keep saying that forever, Tom. You can't. Not every time I ask you. You're a YouTube content creator. Not every time I ask you, you're like, "Oh, he's Edwards' guy." That's it. End the stream.
I'm not asked about his talkativity.
So if Edwards got Brendan Rodgers, you'd back him.
Obviously not, because there's an nth degree of separation. But Edwards would never get Rodgers back because Edwards is not an idiot. Edwards is a very smart
Rodgers
man.
have won the league with Celtic.
He scraped the league with Celtic, by the way. Let's keep it real. He scraped the league with Celtic.
He beat Rangers at the end. That takes big bollocks to do that.
Yeah, a Rangers team that went down to 10 men in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, but everyone gets a red card.
And nearly threw it away against that Rangers team. But back on this point, I'm not arsed about his talkativity. He's been doing a lot of farewell interviews recently. That's where it's come up. The one that people are asked about now, where he's going, I was at AZ and I was at Feyenoord, and now I'm going to Liverpool, and I'm really excited about that. And there's going to be lots of great players to work with there. That was his farewell interview from Feyenoord. That's all it was. I'm not in the same way that people might be annoyed at this. Feyenoord fans also deserve to know exactly what's going on. So I'm not arsed with that. I'm glad we've got Arne Slot because he seems to be a very good manager, all things considered. And with the amount of clubs looking for managers on the market now, after making stupid decisions and letting go good managers in Chelsea, and United are going to be on the market soon for a manager, and Brighton are on the market for a manager, and there's a lot of clubs on the market for managers. The fact we've got one of the best ones that was going to be available this summer off the market.
Aaron lived it as well, so you can't even say anything. Big up to you, Sydney, by the way.
But yeah, the fact we've got seemingly one of the best guys off the market already, done and dusted. That's a big thing.
One of the best guys. He's not one of the best guys. Stop waffling, Tom. Stop.
Right. Let's have a look.
Back him all you want, but don't overdo it.
Right, Hassam, go look at Chelsea's shortlist of managers that they're after and tell me which manager's better than Slot. No, but this is the fucking market. This is the market.
Simeone, Inzaghi, Jose Mourinho.
You're not. Inzaghi just signed a new contract. Jose's washed. What, Diego Simeone? Hansi Flick is shit.
Mauricio
anyway, he's overrated. I don't.
Ainge Postecoglou.
I don't want Ainge. You're pulling out fucking. Oh no, Slot's not that good. Then bring me fucking Ange.
You yourself admitted that Slot is not even a top 5 manager in the Premier League.
When did I say that? I said he's not top. I said he's not better than Pep. The rest of that, it's up in the air.
Not better than Arteta?
No, I said he's on the same level as Arteta. I said the only manager that is unanimously better than Arne Slot is Pep Guardiola. The rest can be up in the air. That's what I said.
The history of the Dutch managers worries me in the Premier League. I don't know what it is. I don't know why everyone's acting so like not worried at all. That's the thing that just freaks me out.
Records and history are there to be altered. If we look
the
at
only good news that's come out of the club over the last month is the Salah news, which we'll talk about in a bit. But other than that, there's literally no other good news. Nunez.
if you go look at
Diaz,
German managers, so it's
Slot.
like,
Oh, here we go. German managers, but we didn't have German managers in the Premier League to begin with.
you did. You had Felix Magath at Fulham. He got sacked. You had
Yeah,
Jürgen
Felix
Klinsmann.
Magath. Wow.
You had Jürgen
Wow.
Klinsmann.
Yeah, but
He
we're
got
talking
sacked.
about the best of the best Dutch managers managed in the Premier League. Van Gaal, all these guys.
So
Can you stop doing research live on stream and just tell me your own
I will do
opinion?
research.
Why are you researching?
I was just looking up who was actually a Dutch manager in the Premier League.
Get researching. Just tell me.
So
The best
Van
manager,
Gaal,
you can ask me, I'll tell you. The best Dutch manager in Premier League history is Gus Hiddink, who won an FA Cup.
they not won the league. Who was the manager when they won the league?
Carlo Ancelotti.
You know, was it? I thought
Yes.
Hiddink won a league. Why did I think
Ancelotti
Hiddink
won
won
the
a league?
double. Gus Hiddink only won an FA Cup. Most successful Dutch managers won FA Cup. FA Cup, Gus Hiddink. FA Cup, Van Gaal.
Ah, yeah. Oh, Hiddink was the year before. Why the fuck? I get my years mixed up. Yeah. Because I remember the 09-10. I thought Hiddink was 09-10, but he was 08-9.
There you are.
But I'm
Can
excited.
you honestly say, and everyone in the chat, even who's backing Slot, can you honestly say you're not worried at all? That's the thing that just is freaking me out with everyone's reactions. They're acting like there's just zero worry.
In terms of what?
Are you not worried like about next season, like in terms of like the manager and stuff?
No, because the manager market isn't fucking good. Let's look at the other names that have been thrown around.
It's not the question. I'm not asking about the market. I'm saying, are you not worried about next season at all?
I'm interested about next year. If I was worried about next year, there's always going to be an ounce of worry because there's a new manager and you don't know how he's going to handle it. But that is not my overarching feeling. There's excitement. I'm excited about what the change is going to be. I'm going into it with a positive mindset of this guy is clearly a very.
You're
very
excited. You called him boring 2 days ago.
No, I said I don't like his style of play.
So you're already complaining about Slot.
No, because that is a thing. If Pep Guardiola took over Liverpool, I would say the same thing. I don't like that style of play necessarily. I think it's a little bit boring. Doesn't mean they become shit managers. It's just I don't like that style of play. It's probably a more successful style of play, if we're being honest. You get more control over games. You struggle less against the low-end opposition. But I'm a football romanticist. I quite like exciting games of football. So I find that style of football a little bit boring. Maybe when it's my team that are doing it, my view will change on it. But right now, I'd be lying if I said I can't wait to play Pep style of football because it's not something that is really I've ever really liked to watch, if you get me. But the overarching feeling is excitement because he's very highly thought of. A lot of clubs have wanted him in the past. He was a lot of clubs' first choice before he turned them down. We've clearly got a very good manager there. Is he gonna? All that needs to be done now is he needs to prove it. Will he prove it? That's what time will tell. But I'm not going into the season with a negative viewpoint of oh fuck, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that.
Can I tell you when I will actually start
I want to
being
see the
negative?
positivity.
Can I tell you when I'll actually start being negative? I'll genuinely give you a genuine reason right now. I'll tell you when I will actually start being negative. When I'll actually start being negative is if we start signing a bunch of Dutch players and shit. Even then, that would be if we go into the summer transfer window and go like Gertruda, Santiago Jimenez, and every fucking Feyenoord player known to existence sign their keeper and shit, that's when I start being worried because that's just the Ten Hag 2.0 basically.
Yes, which is why I'm glad that that Slot is coming in as a head coach and not the manager. That transfer power is out of his hands. We're leaving the transfer power to some of the best in the business. That's the positivity. We're not in a Ten Hag situation where he walked in the door at Manchester United and was given free reign and power over everything. Slot is coming in to coach. That's what he's coming in to do. That's where the positivity comes in because all he's got to do now is help these players develop a strong system and a strong style of play. Everything I've seen at the two clubs he's been at, which is limited, I'm not going to sit there and act like a fucking oracle of AZ Alkmaar, but everything I've seen and everything I've read about his time at the two clubs he's been at, that's what he's very good at doing. So if that's his job description and we've got Edwards and Hughes and Ward and Marquez and the scouts and the data guys all powering together to produce the best transfers for this team. It could well be the best match in heaven.
Hughes,
because
Slot, Dutch manager. I don't know, man. I don't know. There are
yeah, but
worrying signs.
you're going into it with looking at the stereotypes and the
See how they're
negativity.
already starting. See, Gertrude, that's amazing. Gertrude, that's amazing. Okay.
If we end up signing someone from the Dutch league, Gertrude
is a
If
right
it-
back.
If it comes out though that it was
Trent
a Slot
starts for
signing,
us.
I'll be massively disappointed. If it comes out that Slot was the guy who pushed for the signing, I'll be massively disappointed. Because
I remember this moment. I remember you saying this because you flip-flop. You flip-flop like a bastard when it comes to these things.
say I have stood by the same point. I only want the transfer guys doing the transfers. That was my big gripe with Klopp. That was why I think we started to fall off under him, because
Leighton
he wanted
actually
too
makes a
much
valid
power.
point as well. Does he even have enough time to implement his style of play fully? The fact that there's Euros and Copa America, and then after that, like, don't the players get like 2 weeks off? I swear.
It depends how far you go. So like, which teams do you think are going to make it to the end of the?
Okay,
of the
let's
respective tournament?
assume Netherlands make it to the final. You get me? Let's assume, for the sake of argument, Uruguay gets knocked out in the group stages, just to make
So like, it depends on when the season starts as well. So the tournaments typically
because,
end...
by the way, I realized we have also a couple of players as well, Tom, from the academy who even play for the national team. Doesn't Conor Bradley start for thingy?
Yes, but Northern Ireland aren't in the Euros, don't think.
They are. They qualified, bro.
Did they?
I'm gonna check now, but I swear he actually scored one of the qualification goals. Let me check right now.
I thought that was a friendly.
Let me check right now. Let me check the groups quickly, just to double check. Germany, Scotland, Hungary, Switzerland. Germany, we've got no German players.
There is no Northern Ireland. They didn't qualify. I knew it.
Scotland, we've got Robertson. Hungary, we've got Soberslai. Switzerland, no one. Spain, no one. Croatia, no one. Italy, no one. Albania, no one. James is calling me. Incoming call. James Redmond.
I mean, I'll carry on it. I'll carry on that list whilst you're on the call. Slovenia, no one. Denmark, no one. Serbia, no one. England, potentially Quansah, Jones, Trent, Gomez, but it'll probably only be 2, max 3 of them. Poland, no one. Netherlands, Gakpo, Gravenberch, Van Dijk. But I'd be surprised if Gravenberch goes to tournaments because he's pissed off Van Gaal last summer. Austria, no one. France, Canate. Belgium, no one. Slovakia, no one. Romania, no one. Ukraine, no one. Turkey, no one. Georgia, no one. Portugal, Jota, and Czech Republic, no one. It's the Copa America. The Copa America is the bigger
Colombia.
one. Diaz,
Nunez,
Colombia.
Uruguay.
Yeah, Alisson, Brazil.
McAllister, Argentina. Alisson, Brazil.
So, looking at that, I think that we'll get at least, I reckon by mid-July, we'll have half the team in training. And these are smart footballers. The style of play isn't going to be a complete 180 from what Jurgen Klopp was doing. So it's not going to need a full pre-season of learning. And if for the first couple of games, it's a little bit slow and it takes a little bit of time to get going because of the factor of going into his first day of pre-season, Arne Slot is going to have 7 fucking players. Then it takes a little bit of time. I'm not going to hold that against him. It's a tough situation to work in. I do wonder when next season starts. If it starts, because all these seasons start like mid-August. If they push this one back a little bit to like 20th of August.
Let me ask you a question since you're English. What does 10 to 3 mean?
What?
He said he can jump on till 10 to 3. What does 10 to 3 mean?
You can do an hour.
Okay, خلاص, he's joining.
10
James is on the way.
But yeah, I just look at it and
Why are you smiling, Tom? You're not happy to just enjoy my company? You just want to enjoy James's company now? Look at you.
Hey.
Look at you. You're smiling. Why are you smiling like a kid? Like you got like a Christmas gift. Hey, James is here. Fraud.
No, but my point is basically, I'm not going to hold it against him if we start a little bit slow because of the whole shit we got going on this summer in terms of the Euros and the Copa America. We've got a lot of players from sides that will probably go a fair way. So, like, worst case scenario for us, Sam, is
but my only problem is you guys are
Scotland hungry get out the groups
confidently. I understand maybe I'm too reserved on the topic. I understand maybe I'm too worried on the topic. I understand maybe I need to chill a little bit. But the people are acting like, oh, we're gonna be 100% fine, and there is nothing to be fucking worried about.
It's not overconfidence, but it's a case.
But I get Edwards is there, Tom. But like, there's a lot to change. Leighton's point as well. It counts. Like if he only has like basically a month to implement his style pre-season with the new players and stuff.
No, but
we're more than likely gonna have a slow start to the season, man.
You're acting like he's playing this 180 style from what we've done. Apparently, the big reason that we pushed for him ahead of any of the other guys is because the style of football is similar, especially on the defensive end.
Klopp stylistically is De Zerbi. Going a whole crazy.
No, he isn't. No, he isn't. De Zerbi is so fucking far from that, and I'm glad he's a fucking shit manager who's not got a job. De Zerbi is so far from that. But it's not confidence. It's a case of let's give him a chance. Let's at least see what he's going to do, rather than jump on his neck straight away. That's the way
I'm not jumping on his neck. I'm not jumping on his.
No, I'm not saying you are.
Those two words I'm not going to say again. The one that ends in out, I'm not going to say it. You're never going to hear me say it again. We could be 20th and I won't say it. If the whole of YouTube is saying it, I'm not saying it. You're going to be petty like that. Yeah, 100%. We could lose the first 10 games, be 20th, and I'm still not going to say that word. Because when I said it, you saw the reaction. People wanted my house bombed. So I'll just wait for them to come back to daddy, as per usual. But anyway, so the time it takes him to implement the style and all this, like, what do you think? Do you think it'll take him time?
I don't think it'll take as long as it's taken other managers, because I think we've got a very professional squad, a very good squad, and the style of football isn't a million miles away from what Klopp was doing. It might take a little bit of time. First 2, maybe 3 games, there's a little bit of slowness, a little bit of a sluggishness, but I think we'll kick into gear pretty quickly because we've got a lot of individual quality as well. Which is what I feel
the
other
players
teams
respect him on the real.
I think they will. Again, I think we've got a very professional group of players here. A very professional group. And
do you think
ultimately what Klopp done at the end.
Do you really think they listen?
Yes. Let's bear in mind, Sam. Salah has been managed by some really shit managers for Egypt. Van Dijk has been managed by some really shit managers in his career.
There have been some shit managers for Egypt.
Alisson has been managed by some really shit managers in his career. The only players who haven't been managed by a shit manager realistically, or a manager with less pedigree than Arne Slot, is Trent and all the fucking academy players. Everyone else, you can argue, has been managed by someone with worse pedigree than Arne Slot.
Tom, he's here now. You get me? I'm gonna give him an intro because we all love him. You know, the man, the myth, the legend. My second favorite Scouser after Trent. This guy's my favorite wall right here. Joining us on the channel, of course. He's here, guys. Listen, some other people might catfish on their thumbnails. We don't. James really was supposed to be here, and it's okay. He's late. There's no bad feelings about it whatsoever. He gets to be late. He's a big deal. Man like James Redmond is in the building. How you doing, James, man? You're on mute, James.
So sorry for being late, lad. You're all right. It's been a disaster. Life's been crazy. I've been fuming. I still haven't got to. Do you know why I'm late too, Sam? It's because, and I know you're a better man than me, so you don't drink. But I've been drinking since Klopp left, so I'm still bevied, lad. So you need to allow me. I'm still recovering. I'm still getting used to the Dutch heritage of our new manager, Arne Slot, who I know that you're probably going to fucking love because you are so positive every single time I see you fucking have an opinion. So, lad, listen, I'm ready for this show. I'm sorry to the audience, but you know what, lads? You know what I say? you know what Mama Redmond says? Better late than never.
Yes, sir. Better late than never. 100%.
And I
So,
need to get me light on, so sorry about that as well. That's why I'm moving about. Go on.
Ray Ray saying
Sorry,
big up
Tom.
James, the only one who isn't a fraud in the
Real
panel.
fan.
I gave him a promise. I'm gonna read that again. So big up to you, Ray Ray. Here, he heard it. So let me know what are your thoughts on the Dutch manager? You know, man like Slotinho.
Does Tom want to finish? Does Tom want to finish what he was saying, and then I'll go, or do you want it?
You can-
I mean,
I think
I'm all right. I've said all I need to say.
Tom's a factual man. All right, Sam. Then, well, yeah. So Arne Slot, I like him. I like the initial signs. I like what I see. Sam, can I just ask you a question before I proceed?
There you are. Yes, ask me already.
Did you
Go
want
ahead,
Jose? Did you want someone like Jose Mourinho over Arne Slot?
Yeah, I did want Mourinho.
Fuck off, Sam. Honestly, Sam, you're ridiculous.
I do want
sometimes.
Mourinho, but besides the point, we got Slot now. Tell me your opinion on Slot. Forget Sam. You get me. That's not fight. You just joined the stream. You get me. Good morning. Tell me about Slot. Your thoughts on Slot. Forget me.
He's boss. I like him, man. Do you know what, lad? I understand why you would probably go with that, because I know the type of fan you are. You're someone who's like heavily resume based. I think that's why you didn't like Enzo as well. But in terms of Slot, I like him, man. I think he's got credentials there that suit this club. First and foremost, he's demonstrated that he can improve every football club he's been at. So it's not like he's just went to one football club like Gerrard's with Rangers, and he's done really well with that one football club. He's had, Tom, is it 3 clubs in Netherlands? Is it 3 clubs that he's had?
2, AZ Alkmaar and Feyenoord.
All right, yeah, and he's done really well with AZ Alkmaar. Was on course to potentially win them a league in the COVID season, and then when it got to Feyenoord, dramatically improved the circumstances of that club as well. So I like that, and then also he's an energetic manager. Good connection to the fans of Feyenoord. They look at him like a legend. They talk about him the way we talk about Klopp. I know it's different levels, and that's the bit that I'm worried about. Is it's not the Premier League. It's not the media. It's not the media scrutiny that he's going to be getting all the time. So I understand that's a challenge he's got to fill in. But I think it's better to go for an Arne Slot who's got potentially a higher ceiling than a current Jose Mourinho. And the current Jose Mourinho, to me, is cup manager, meaty league manager. And I will say meaty. He finished 6th and 7th with Roma. Shite. Absolutely dogs bollocks. And people talk about him like he's a world-class coach. He won the Conference League and that was it. He is a meaty manager. In this current moment, he's a good cup manager, meaty overall. And people will say, James, how can you say that about Jose Mourinho and be licking his balls? I'm telling you, Jose Mourinho is a meaty standard cup manager. In the current day, this is not Jose Mourinho where he's got, he's still got colour in his hair and these type of things. Arne Slot, for instance, I think he's got a ceiling. And he could be really bad, but I believe that he could be all right. And I think the things that I've seen so far, the information I know at the moment, sounds.
At least you say he could be bad. Like, this is the thing.
Course.
People are not acknowledging the possibility that it could go to the shits, basically. That's the problem. People are not acknowledging that possibility. There's actually a possibility it does go to the shits. This is the issue here. Like,
there's the possibility.
And the reason why I wanted Mourinho is I wanted Mourinho for a year, only for 1 year, and get Xabi Alonso next summer, because Xabi Alonso is the prodigy. He's the guy. He's inventing new things.
Can't do football that way, Hussam. Can't do
He's
football
inventing stuff in football at this point.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying we can't go with the idea, let's get Jose Mourinho for a stopgap to then get Xabi Alonso. It's a plan that is so risky because it's much more likely to not happen than to happen. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You get Jose in, you have based on recent trends, you have a shit year. You most likely finish outside Champions League. So straight away, you've already lost a bit of an appeal to Alonso. Then, what's not to say that at the end of next year, Ancelotti goes, fuck it, I might go manage Brazil, or I might go manage somewhere else.
Tom, why are you acting up?
And then all of a sudden, that Real Madrid,
why are you acting up?
I'm not acting up. I said the same
like
thing to you when you started saying
Mourinho's fake
Mourinho
bump
shit.
away at the Etihad. You said Jose Mourinho
I
knee
did
slide
not
at
say
the Etihad.
anything like that.
Shall I play the
not
clip
say
for
anything
you?
like that. Play that
liar.
clip.
James
that
Redmond
clip.
is here. Remember, you have
clip.
to deal with me every week. I remember what you say. James might not know. You're talking about the knee slide at the Etihad.
Me and you literally had a 20-minute argument on a stream about Mourinho, and it resulted in you getting clipped up and abused on Twitter like no one else.
No, I got clipped up because I was slut out. That's why I got clipped up and abused.
What?
Yes.
How are you
said
slot out before this even came in?
Yeah, I said
my
slut out. That's why.
days. Oh,
I had
my
that
days.
reaction. I was like slut out. I broke it down. Listen, I've given my reasons, but I'm never gonna say that word ever again. You will never hear me say
What
slut.
video of you? Could you just give me one of the reasons? Just one. I know you would have been through them. It's my fault.
The
Give
history
me
of
one.
Dutch managers in the league, bad history of Dutch managers in the league.
That's
The
a
step
call
up
I
from
don't know.
Feyenoord to Liverpool is a massive step up, because Feyenoord, you're never ever gonna get the pressure that you get at managing Liverpool Football Club. The ability to work with world class players that we have right now, the fact
Yeah.
that this squad is ready to win now. We have a squad that's ready to win now. We literally need 4 or 5 signings to win right now. And the fact that Xabi Alonso is our former player and he's inventing new football tactics, just is about to do an invincible treble. That's the guy that I really want. You know, that's basically the summary.
Why can't we get Xabi Alonso?
I mean, he wants to stay at Leverkusen another year, to be fair.
So we need to delay. So I think we all need to agree the idea of Alonso needs to be removed, don't we? Like if it falls in place in about 12 months' time, say Arne Slot has a bad first season and Alonso wants Liverpool, I understand you there. I don't see that being the case. And I'd see a scenario where he goes to Real Madrid before he goes to Liverpool, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
Especially with the
I know
situation with Carlo Ancelotti. So all I'm saying, with your methodology going forward, try and remove the equation of Xabi Alonso. What do you do from there? Because I agree with you, Xabi Alonso, most ideal, won everything this season, won every game this season, it's mad. But, you know, let's not also forget, he's still young. Gerrard did also do the Invincibles, not in the European competitions or cup competitions, but he did still do it. It might have been in Scotland, but he still done it with a team that hadn't won the league in 9 years, so quite similar to Leverkusen, except longer for Leverkusen.
They both ended dynasties. This is what Buddy says students do.
They break
I would
the
have
10-year
taken Tom's
streaks.
boy as well. I would have taken
Bruno
Tom's boy as well.
Amorim.
Yeah.
Bruno Amorim.
Mm-hmm.
So we are. I think the reason why you're mainly worried is it the Dutch league thing.
It's the history of the Dutch manager. We've seen some of the best Dutch managers. Not a single one of them won a league title. You're going to tell me about the history of the German managers? Yeah, but Klopp won 2 league titles at Dortmund against Bayern.
No, I hear what you're saying. It's different level.
And Champions League final.
But then, yeah, how about all the Scottish managers? Or in fact, there was great Scottish managers back in the day. But in the modern day, it's like you don't. No, but that was back in the day, though. Like in the modern day, it's only been Sir Alex. Like if you go off every other Scottish manager in the current game, you're not looking at them and going, they're the prestige of football. But you look at them all the time and go, they are the prestige of football. The thing with the Netherlands managers, you can't sit there and say there's not been any good Dutch managers. You can say that there's been bad Dutch manager examples in the Prem. But, like, you can't say that every single Dutch manager who would ever join the Prem would do bad. I know that's not what you're saying. I'm just saying, why don't you look at what Slot... And I know that. And why don't you look at what Slot has done and what he brings to this current role, replacing Jurgen Klopp, instead of looking at it from a point of he's Dutch, therefore that's why I'm really worried. Because Frank de Boer...
No, that's not the only reason. That's not the only reason. I think, look, that he could succeed, but this could go left as well. Like, that's the thing. This could go all the way bad to the other side. That's the kind of the big issue here that I have. And I think the step up might be too big for him. Yeah, the step up might
then.
Be...
Can I ask one last question? And then I'll stop pressing this issue.
And let me ask you a question before you ask me a question. Before we announced Arne Slot, was he in even your top 5 of managers that you wanted at Liverpool?
I didn't know who he was at first, to be honest with you, but that doesn't. But I can't use that as why I don't want him or I want him. I didn't know Bruno Amorim.
No one wanted him. No one knew who the fuck he was.
I didn't want Amorim. If you'd asked me in December last year, would I want Xabi Alonso? I would have said no to Xabi Alonso because it was December. He would have been in a job for a year and a bit. So no, I like this timing and everything like that. But then we learn about Xabi Alonso. We want Xabi Alonso. We learn about Amorim. He would have been a good choice. And I agree with you. Probably would have preferred Amorim over Slot. But Sporting Lisbon, Tom, was it the case that Sporting were asking for mad dough?
Apparently, we had everything agreed, and then Sporting doubled the asking price, and we just sort of let that fuck off.
Cheeky snap bastards. I don't even want that manager no more for that reason. So fuck them. Arne Slot, I've seen his resume. This is all I can speak of. I've seen what he's done at Feyenoord. He's built a connection with the fan base. He's a long-term manager, potentially. And he got to a European final in his first season. That is instant success. He got a league title in his second season. Tom, did he win one cup or two while he was at Feyenoord? Was it one?
One cup, one league title.
There we go. So one cup, one league title, European success. In a league where he wasn't with the best team, with the best resources. So I'm only suggesting, and even when Ajax were at their peak, because I understand they haven't been recently, he competed with them, with AZ Alkmaar. So I could only go with what I've seen. And this is what I wanted to ask you, Hussam. If we got Jose Mourinho and it went bad, surely that's worse than if it goes bad with Arne Slot, isn't it? Because Jose Mourinho, when it goes bad with him, usually ends quite bad. Yeah. Okay. That's good.
But Jose Mourinho is high reward. Because if somehow he could just bring back...
No, but Hussam,
he's high reward.
You say this. Mourinho hasn't won a league title in 10 years.
We could be sat here winning our 7th Champions League next season. No one can deny it with Mourinho.
Mourinho hasn't won Champions League since 2011.
Doesn't matter, Tom. We're talking about the possibilities.
13 years.
Only purely. No, Tom, if I can accept that it's worse reward, higher risk, I can accept it's also higher reward.
When was the last time Mourinho even played in the Champions League or managed in the Champions League?
I don't.
He got
United.
a Europa League final with Roma and won the Conference League, which is to them like that's the level, you know, for them. But hey, we'll you know.
And when it Feyenoord, who we beat in the final as well, but it was with Roma and it was Feyenoord and it was two different things. And actually, Feyenoord have done really well at dominating teams in Europe based on play. I think when they played Real Madrid, they had a boss game against Real Madrid, dominated them on chances.
It was Atletico.
Atletico Madrid.
I think they had like 2.5 XG against Atletico Madrid away from home.
Yeah.
And they were just done by 2 mad goals.
And they played better football than Jose Mourinho, Hussam, and this manager. Have you seen him with the Feyenoord fans? The Feyenoord fans.
Yeah, I've seen him with the Rotterdam.
They fucking love him. They look at him like he's the dog's bollocks. They look at him like as if he is Jose Mourinho in the current day. And I'd arguably suggest, if you look at the tenures of Jose Mourinho at Roma and Arne Slot at Feyenoord, I think Arne Slot had a more successful time. I do, you know. I think he was good. But yeah, Arne Slot, listen, but is the doubt? 100% there's doubt. But there would have been with anyone you got.
No, there's doubt with everyone. The only one that I would think there would be no doubt with is Alonso, to be honest with you. I wanted him from the start, before anything was even won, because this guy's inventing new football tactics. Like he's like the next prodigy. He could be the next Pep Guardiola, Xabi Alonso. That's why I like really want him type stuff. Let me do these super before I ask you guys about couple of players. Big up to Dimitar, says, I don't want to be negative, but if Slot cannot handle the pressure and FSG do not back him properly, we may have a significant problem. This is true as well.
Yeah, but you can think about that with any sort of scenario.
Any manager we get.
Scenarios in your head. Like, nothing I've seen so far suggests Arne Slot can't handle pressure.
Yeah, same.
So it's not something that I should be thinking about and worrying about straight away.
Yeah, Tom, because the pressure of managing Feyenoord is the same as the pressure of managing Liverpool.
He never said that, Hussam. He never said that. He said the examples of what has been given to Arne Slot, or the situations, the circumstances. He's done well with them. He's handled the pressure.
No, I know he's done well.
Yeah, we agree. We agree. It's different. It would have been for Amorim. It would have been for Amorim, and it would have been for Alonso, because Alonso would no longer be at a club that is like the fairy tale of football, or little Leverkusen, you know, cute this. He wouldn't, like, it would be different for him as well. So there's it's like Gerrard. Gerrard done really well in Scotland, which there would have been pressure there, but not like a lot of pressure overall. Goes to Aston Villa, bump. So we just need to...
Love you, Stevie.
Just, bam.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the honest James Redmond. And here we go. Hussam, bro, sharing is caring. I don't know what sharing is caring has to do with this conversation, Edward. But can we get W's in the chat for Edward for the big super chat? Big up to you, Edward. Thank you for the super chat. And yeah, James Redmond has always been honest. We know this. You get me? That's why we love him. You know. So yeah, big up to you, Edward. June 1st, the day that fraud Thiago Alcant play a game won't be employed by our club. I can't wait. Hussam, stop disrespecting Robbo. He's a legend. I'm not disrespecting Robbo at all. I just sell him this summer because we need a new left back. That's it. Like we need
got people talking about Thiago.
you want to know what rattles me? Because Ryan, I've had to deal with this all fucking week. You know, he thinks Naby Keita was a better player for Liverpool than Thiago, and Keita has a better legacy
Who
than
said
Thiago.
that?
This fella here, Ryan.
Oh, you are a ridiculous. This is why I hate internet. I hate the internet, that people can just say whatever they want. It annoys me to me core. Like, Naby Keita was a meaty footballer and definitely didn't. Thiago against Porto goal. Thiago's goal against Porto. Shut your fucking mouth for that already. He surpasses his legacy. And he's probably more available on a game-to-game basis.
Hey, do it. If Redmond's never seen it, he gets an introduction for the first ever time.
I don't know if he's never seen it. I think James has never seen it.
By the way, can I just say, the two girls below us are looking 16 out of 10s today, both of them.
That's rare.
That's a face of someone who's never seen that clip before.
Oh, my days.
I'm depressed for him. I am a depressed man for him. I've just felt it.
That's not the only one, though, James. There's a clip of him right at the start of that stream where the girl on the bottom left first joins, and he's midway through something, he just goes, "Oh."
Ooh.
Dead awkwardly, like, "Ooh."
Oh, my God.
And it's just the most fucking, "Oh."
I've got more clips. Let me show you a couple of receipts. Right, you can hold
Oh
that.
my God.
Look what he was saying about Alistair at the start of the season.
In the chat, you want him sold. Is that the case? Did you say
Nah,
sell
I
him?
just said send him back to Brighton as a joke, innit?
Oh, okay. All right, fast. Go on.
But like, Cali Swizzie's the Argentinian Harry Winks. Like,
Jesus.
I know it might be too early to say it, but you know what? I'm just going by what I
to be fair, the quality you have to have some.
He called McAllister the Argentinian Harry Winks. That's what he said. Hey, this goes deep.
He just, where's he useful? I just want to know where this man's useful in life, right? Besides being his mum's son, because we're all valuable to our mums, aren't we? Other than this, he can't talk about football. We struggle in this department, and that was an abomination with girls, right? The girl clip. Did you know the silence in the girl clip? Was that actually real, by the way? Like the sound.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, the sound effects aren't done, but there was about 7-8 seconds of pure silence.
Like, that's what I'm asking. I knew the sound effect. That is crazy, you know. That is crazy. Fair play to the kid. He needs to own the role. Own
it. I think he owns it. He's one of the biggest trolls, but fair enough, anyway. There's another topic I want to discuss with you guys. Big up to everyone. I think YouTube is catching up to the viewers thing, because obviously the numbers were going way off.
Oh yeah,
before.
James as well. Just the last one. Ryan wanted Tuchel as well for Liverpool. That was his main choice for manager.
It's just good that we don't all do drugs in it, Thomas. You know what I mean? It's good that we all don't do drugs.
And if you were to ask him about why, he'd go, he's got a good record against Real Madrid. So he wants to fuck off the league, fuck off all the cups, just on the off chance we draw Real Madrid in the Champions League. And you know what? He lost to Real Madrid in the Champions League this year. So
Isn't that ridiculous, though? Isn't that fucking ridiculous? I say this, you know, everyone's wanting cup managers, you know, Tom. Everyone's wanting cup managers, or they're preferring cup managers. Jose Mourinho, certified cup manager, and the most recent cup he's won is in the conference league. If Arne Slot won the Conference League against Jose Mourinho, do you think it's getting talked about as much as when Jose Mourinho won it? No,
because Roma didn't win a trophy for 15 years.
Yeah, but
by the way, I've already explained. I'm not taking Jose forever. I'm only taking him for a year.
No, I know, but you have a preference of him, and then you probably have a preference of Thomas Tuchel, I'd imagine, over.
No, hell no. I think Thomas Tuchel is the most overrated manager in world football. I don't like him at all.
He's been better than Jose over the past 5 years, hasn't he? He's been better than Jose.
One guy's managed Roma, the other guy's managed Bayern Munich. That's
he's also managed Chelsea and won the Champions League. Let's not be too disingenuous.
Yeah, but anyway, on that note, let's moving on from this manager conversation. I don't want to talk about managers anymore. Listen, I think we've made our points clear. Everyone's made it clear. I'm only taking Mourinho for a year. That's it. And if we could get Alonso next season, if not,
last question. So Mourinho absolutely smashes it for the season. Say he gets us third and wins us a League Cup like this season, right? Are you still letting him go? That's a pretty good season for any new manager who's replacing.
What if Jose gets us?
No, because me and you disagree on this. The current state of the squad is not a state of the squad
No,
that's top
Hassam, let's change it then. What if Jose won one of the big two next year,
Champions League or Prem?
but
Yeah.
Alonso became available?
If I could get Alonso in the summer, I would. If not, I'd just keep Mourinho.
So Jose Mourinho could win Liverpool the Premier League, but if Alonso was available, you'd still sack him off.
Yeah, because you need to understand, Alonso is the prodigy. He's the next Pep Guardiola. He's the next Pep Guardiola. It's the reality, brother.
Could you imagine the reaction if a manager won your team the Premier League and you sacked him?
Yeah, listen, that's how ruthless clubs move. His preference is Poch hammers. My preference is not Poch. I said 100 times, out of the Premier League managers, there's 20 managers in the league. Klopp's gone. Pep is not attainable. Out of the other 18, who I think the best one is Pochettino. Offensive football, dominates possession, destroys the other teams, can work with a budget. It's just the reality of our club. But anyway, listen, there's a more interesting conversation here, because James thinks I ain't been watching his content. So I want to ask him about a certain guy that posted a certain picture 2 days ago. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to This Is Football if you're ready to do so. James Redmond TV is in the description. Tom Little 1 on YouTube, Twitter, Insta, the works is in the description. Make sure you guys go subscribe. So, Mo Salah announces he's staying next year, James. Yes, I thought I'm Mr. Negative. I saw your video on Mo Salah. So tell me, I'm going to give you the floor. I'm not going to respond until you fully explain your thoughts on the Salah situation, because it seems like he's staying next year.
Why do you seem to think I've got a problem with that?
Yes.
You think I've got a problem with Salah staying?
I saw your video when Klopp and Salah fought.
Yes, and what did the video explain?
What did the video explain? That yes, you're a Liverpool legend and all this, but you have 0 non-penalty goals in finals and blah blah blah.
Why did I bring that up? Why did I bring that up? Why did I bring that up, Hussam? Why did I bring that up? Because the man had been in bad form, and he just created a spark. The biggest, probably the most controversial thing in terms of that game, to a point, Hussam, where he was getting held back by players. Now, I'm not holding Salah to any normal standard. I hold Salah to the same standard that I would any other professional player who steps out on that pitch. And I thought on that day, in that instance, he handled it wrong. Now, I do accept Klopp could have said something that provoked him. I do also accept Salah might have even had a reason to be that way. But just, you are smart enough to not go and kick off with the manager, getting players to hold you back in a time where we're in terrible form. Let's not start thinking you're the dog's bollocks, and let's not start fuming because he was fuming because he weren't starting. Let's just not do this thing where, okay, yeah, you are the greatest player this club has seen in recent history. Fine, we all agree. But that still doesn't mean when you go into bad form, you are now entitled to just play through bad form. Which, by the way, even when he does get dropped, it's only for a game or two. It's not that bad. It's not like he's seriously being affected. So my point was, you've been in bad form. You're coming on fuming, probably because you're not playing. And here's the case where I'm saying to you, well, let's remember, you're not perfect either. Hence why I brought up the things like his final runs at the end of a season. That was the only reason why I brought them up. And I also said he acted like a bastard, didn't I? I said that his behaviour, his bastard behaviour. I said the same thing with Jordan Henderson when he left the club, and the way he left the club. The fact he was lying, saying he was going to Saudi for a project and all these type of things. Mohamed Salah, but I also always said I'm very happy with Mohamed Salah staying on more than one occasion. When he signed the other day, after the last game the other day, I think he's made like 200 and it was like a certain amount of appearances or something like that. Either way, I put it on there, and then when he came out with the quote after the game, what was it? Like, next season we're going to fight. Great. This is what we need, and it's why it's beneficial to have someone like you, because that has got a sort of positive. It's definitely got a positive impact on the dressing room, but I'm trying to think of the word where it's like that sort of it spreads that wanting to win mentality. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy Salah's staying. I always said if we got 180 million and he was low-key up to the idea, great. And I do think I actually saw a video of Turkey, who's the ones doing all the boxing events in Saudi at the moment. I think he came and done an interview the other day on an MMA podcast and said, we had a deal agreed with Mo Salah or something like that. So again, I'm not the only one who said I'd be all right with Salah going. According to Turkey, Salah's been okay with the idea as well, but he's also been very okay with with Liverpool and staying there. So, no, do you know what, Hussam? Like, if there's anything in the video you want to call me out on, I'm happy to address. But, like, just to clarify, love Mo Salah, love what he's done. Very sound that he's staying. No problem with him staying
But
whatsoever.
managers and players have fought before, though. Like, even Mane and
I've called-
Klopp had a disagreement.
And I called
Milner
Mane out
and
for the
Klopp
very
had a
same thing.
disagreement. Henderson and Klopp had a
To be
disagreement.
fair, the Milner one can't recall as much, but I know for 100% I called Mane out on the exact same thing. And I called out Henderson as well, because that was the United game, wasn't it? Was it the United game?
Yeah.
The United game.
Milner was actually West Ham away as well when he got substituted off.
I ripped into the
Milner one's
bollocks of
different
Jordan
now.
Henderson. Yeah, I can't remember the Milner one.
The Milner one's different because Milner got annoyed at him for getting taken off, and then Jones came on, and then Jones got the assist like 30 seconds
And
later.
let's not
And then
forget-
Milner comes straight back down and hugs him and says, "You know what, fucking hell, you're right," and then goes back up.
And let's not forget, Jordan Henderson, for instance, he weren't getting players to hold him back. Nunez had to hold back Salah. He was there doing all this. It's not a good look for your best player. It's not a good look for your best player. You've got to admit that, Hussam.
Yeah, no, I accept that 100%. Listen, I'm not blinded.
But I'd
by
say the
agenda.
same if it was Nunez. I've
I've never turned on Klopp. I've always been pro Klopp over everyone. But listen, for me, I always looked at it as managers and players fight all the time, and it's not a good look for us as Liverpool fans. But it's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. I think people just tried to make a meal out of it because Mo Salah wasn't having the best of form. That's why people it was a pile-on type thing.
This is, and you're right, Hussam. That's why I was fuming, because it was the timing of it. I'm saying, it's one thing complaining when we're top of the table and we're competing to win. But when we're out of the title race pretty much, you haven't helped us stay in that title race, at least in recent weeks, of course, overall he has. Like, don't be making big stir-ups. It was an emotional video. The video you referenced, it was an emotional video. I mean, even in hindsight, I look at it and I go, wish I was a bit more balanced there, because it probably does come across him a little bit, anti-Salah. But the main purpose of it was, how do I treat that situation if I'm in the dressing room in that moment? And I'll be honest, I'm ripping into Salah more than anyone for that.
So you're happy for Salah to stay then?
100%, not even a problem.
Let me ask you a question, just because there's an important question to be asked here. Who would you say are your top 3 performers this season and worst 3 performers this season?
Good question.
Just give me so we can unpack your thoughts.
Yeah, Virgil van Dijk, I think he has to be up there. He's been quality this season in terms of his just all-round game. I think it returned a lot more. Mohamed Salah, I think even though he had a poor end to the season, I still think he was very encouraging at the start of it, to be honest with you. McAllister changed games this season.
Same exact 3, Tom. We completely agree.
For the first time, probably in fucking history,
all 3 of us agree on the 3.
Agreed on the same 3.
Exact 3 for everyone.
Yeah, not even.
Let's see the bottom 3. There is no way we agree on bottom 3. Who would you say the worst 3 performers?
The worst 3 performers this season. I think I don't want to say Kanate. He had a bad spell, but he went like an overall bad season. He was really good in the first half. I think. Did anyone put Soboslai in their bottom 3?
No.
Because
the first 3 months were great. He was like the best one.
See, that's the conflict I've got.
Covers him. That's
the
what
conflict
covers him.
I've got.
I put Gravenberch in there just on the basis that I don't think he had a peak anywhere near the other 3 midfielders.
Okay. That's a good one. All right. Do you know what though as well? I think this has been one of Robbo's least impactful seasons. I still think he's been good in games, but I do think overall he has been. I do think he's been a bit average this season. So I'll probably put Robbo in there, but just about. And if you give me other names, I'll probably remember. Because I've liked both of our right backs. I've liked that.
Me and Hassam agreed on Diaz. Me and Hassam both agreed on Diaz and Nunez.
He should know the other 2. I can't let you. We shouldn't even be giving him hints.
Do we put but do we put Nunez in there? I couldn't put Diaz in there either. Oh no, I couldn't put Diaz.
Oh my days! You're not gonna put Diaz in the 3 worst performers.
Not in the 3 worst. No, not in the 3 worst. I put Sobo in there over Diaz, and I love Sobo. Love Sobo to pieces, but I think this has been one of Diaz's better seasons. Weirdly enough, maybe that's a low bar.
Absolute howler, James.
Maybe it's a low bar, maybe, but I do think
howler.
that
Luis Diaz.
Yeah,
Luis Diaz.
Yeah.
How's this been here? One of his best seasons? What, James? Are you sure?
I'll probably say Robbo, Gravenberch, and Sobo. Yeah. No, but yeah.
No Nunez either.
Not 3 worst. Yes, still shit. And same with Diaz, still shit, but not 3 worst. Not 3 worst. But no, we agree. If we're going to make it a bottom, if we're going to make it a bottom 5, fine, I'll throw in Nunez and Diaz. I actually agree with that. I think they've been bad.
You wouldn't sell Diaz and Nunez this summer?
Yes.
For up to you.
Yes, 100% I would. Are you crazy? Yes. You're saying I'm not taking 60 million for Luis Diaz, and you're telling me I'm not taking 60 million for Nunez when if Nunez stays, all that's going to happen is his value's going to go down. But then people will say that I'm abusing him because of that, and I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just saying. I've always had this opinion on Nunez. He's just not that good. He's got 31 goal contributions and has done since February. Come on, guys. Like, half of it comes from the Europa League and League Cup. Come on, let's just get our heads on a swivel and realise that he's not a league-winning striker. Great for top 4. He's a great Uruguayan Timo Werner, but he's not Luis Suarez. You know what I mean? Let me name you all.
He brought it back, Chad. Let's go.
Let me name you these strikers: Daniel Sturridge, Luis Suarez, Fernando Torres. I'd even throw in players like Mario Balotelli. Probably have more technical ability than Nunez, but let's leave Balotelli to the side. We'll keep on going. Michael Owen, Robbie Fowler, Ian Rush. Now we can just name these strikers of Liverpool historical absolute elite ballers.
Nathan Eccleston.
Bro, I'm telling you now, Nunez is not on this level. But the thing is, that era was different. With, like you said to Sam before, this team is this close to winning. We can't have the man who's receiving quite literally like 70 to 80% of our chances, missing 90% of those. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm in agreement. 100%.
So yeah, man. I agree with the Nunez Diaz thing.
I think this summer we sign 5 players, get rid of Nunez and Diaz and Robertson. I think we could genuinely win the league next season. You get a left back, you get a centre back, Ugarte. You get 2
still on
forwards.
with the Sal Robertson ball. You don't make sense with the Sal Robertson shit. You don't. You genuinely don't make sense with the Sal Robertson shit. It's a flawed method. Because you want to keep Tsimikas, who's worse, and the same age.
Will accept being a bench player?
I think he's fucking got to. I think he's got to fight for his position.
That's besides the point. Will he accept it?
He's got to fight for his position. That's what any top club does. I don't want to play it.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want.
Did you see balling out against Liverpool? Did you see that? See my talent ID. I like ballers.
I
like
don't
football.
want
You are
the standard of my football club being the backups are happy to be backups. I want the backups to be pushing the starters.
It just makes sense to just keep Tsimikas because he's happy to be on the bench.
No, it doesn't.
He's happy to be on the bench. He's Salah's best friend. Let's do it. Why not? Keep him for squad chemistry.
You want to improve the squad. You sell the backup. You make the starter the backup. You buy a new starter.
Robertson won't accept being the backup. Robertson won't accept being the backup.
He can fight for his position. That's what he can do. That's
beside the point, Tom. He won't accept sitting on the bench.
What do you mean it's beside the point? He's got to fight for his position.
Did you see Ait Nouri in the last game of the season, Tom? Did you see him?
You
see how I love football and you hate football? Who do you want? Matson. You fucking bozo. You want Ian Matson.
Wait there. Who did you say, Sam? Who did you say?
I want Ait Nouri from Wolves. That's who I want.
Oh, I like him actually. I think he's nice. I think he's a nice player.
Do you want to know the difference to Sam? He plays as a fucking wing back in a back 5.
Yeah, I was going to say he's a bit different.
Yeah, and Matson plays in a wing back.
No, but Dortmund play a back 4.
Matson was a wing back. What's your point?
Yeah, but Tom, I know he could probably play in a back 4 as well if he plays.
Thank you, James. Dunk on him.
Adaptation. Plus, I've even said I don't even want a natural left back. I want a fucking centre back who can play left back. That's what I want.
You want a Guardiola?
I want a Pacho. I want a fucking Guardiola. I want any left-footed centre back who can play as a left back. That's what I want, and it frees up Trent. You've got a natural back.
We actually spoke to a Bosnian streamer who actually knew Guardiola growing up, and he told us that Guardiola was willing to go to Liverpool under any circumstance, but they didn't even offer for him. That's the problem.
No, Liverpool have had a big problem. I think one thing I will say about Jurgen Klopp, love the man to pieces. I mean, adore the man, legend and all that. I do think he let us down on a few potential 6 signings in his final couple of years. I think he had heavy impact in his final couple of years, and I think he might have let us down ever so slightly. Yeah, that's what I will say. But otherwise, boss. And we've got Michael Edwards now, I guess, haven't we? So hopefully these type of signings will be more identifiable by him. or the people he's got. Like
I hope so.
Salah.
I mean, we need to do that. The only thing that's worrying me is they're saying they want to keep Nunez. Okay, Slot talking about his skill
He's a
set.
big,
What's-
he's a big investment, isn't he? And all that nonsense. I think what they worry, they don't want to let him go. He goes to Barcelona and tears it up. I think
No, but
they
I
want to try
accept
and
that's
make
a
it work.
possibility, James. But how about the other possibility? I accept
He
there's two
stays shit.
possibilities, right?
Yeah.
There's no,
Yeah, he stays
it's
shit.
black and white. Either next season starts and he's scoring a shitload of goals and he's unbelievable, or
Yeah.
next season starts, first 3 games of the season, he misses 6 big chances and he costs us 6 points. But then
Yeah.
what happens? His value goes from 50 million to 20. That's it.
I agree.
That's the
I
point.
also, it does worry me because I do think Nunez has lost us the league this season. And what I mean by that is, and it's not fair to solely put it on him because the system just made it that way, to be honest. You can blame the defence for sure. I would put more blame on Nunez. The way we defend has to be done to keep up the high intensity, to keep up the chances that we keep getting, and to play the counter-attacking football that we do, but also the pressing football that we do. Nunez receives the majority of those chances. And Hussam, Tom, you both know goals change games. And if Nunez was able to score some of the goals, which would have been the first goal in a lot of games, you're talking about a completely different
Everton
game
away.
overall. Yeah, exactly. The team needs to come towards you. Everton away is the perfect example. The team needs to come towards you. They need to open up a little bit more. They're not going to be putting 8 men behind the ball or 10 men behind the ball. Nunez opens up those possibilities of teams being able to play exactly how they want. Quickly get a goal, sit back for the rest of the game. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Nunez is benefiting the opposition more than he's benefiting us. We've always had a possibility of conceding goals. Our issue has never been the goal scoring aspect. The reason why, Klopp said it best, the reason why we could have non-goal scoring midfielders, remember how little goals Fabinho, Henderson and Wijnaldum would score, is because of the
Near to
accommodation.
nothing.
Exactly, near to nothing. But then you think of the reason why that was acceptable and the reason why it worked perfectly is because the front three and all of them done their job. The one you could say maybe missed a few chances, Firmino. Salah did as well, don't get me wrong. So did Mane. They all missed chances. But they were scoring so much. They were so relentless. They were so... If they missed a chance, they're right back at it. Nunez is... Exactly. Nunez is similar in that way, but he's nowhere near as clinical and he's nowhere near as a good all-round player as any of those three. So that's the main issue I have with him, lads. You know what I mean?
I hold the same sentiment towards Diaz as well. Nunez had a lot of chances and that let us down. I think Diaz is a real attack
Diaz has been
killer.
worse even.
Diaz kills attacks. Nunez wastes chances, but Nunez can also help attacks in a way. Diaz, I just feel, kills a lot of attacks with his poor decision making.
I agree with you.
You turn to some of the other games we've had this year, and like Diaz has the worst output this year, but he's played the most games. Like Gakpo, if Gakpo had anywhere near the amount of chances that Diaz had, I think you could have seen someone who's getting close to 20 goals, and Diaz got you fucking 8. Jota, we know what Jota is, but the man cannot stay fucking fit. The best investment the football club could do this summer.
Chances created Diaz has, Tom.
You showed me. It's like 5 across his entire fucking Premier League.
You know that Luis Diaz has 6 big chances created this whole fucking season.
Is he?
He's only missed 1 game. This is the thing that gets to me. Aesthetics has fooled my people because they think, oh yeah, Diaz might not be that clinical, but at least he creates chances. He's got 6 big chances created. You know, Reece James, who's been out the whole year, has more big chances created than fucking Luis Diaz.
Yeah,
Cameron Archer, Sheffield, has more big chances created than Luis Diaz. Cameron Archer has more big chances created. So basically, you're a dribbler. Let's just say it as it is. You dribble.
Wow. Yeah, he's a dribbler who can't beat the final man. Like that's the problem with Diaz. He's a good option off the bench if you wanted to use him there, but he's obviously not a bench player. Plus,
the thing
his
is,
dad's
he can beat the
twerking
final
for.
man.
Sorry, Tom. Like even his dad, he's twerking for Barcelona.
Oh yeah.
Like, lad, go sell him if you can. Like 50 million for him would be absolutely sound. I'll take him that all day, baby boy. You're mad.
Yeah, Diaz's big thing is end product. I say with Diaz, we bought Diaz in 2022, January 2022, and he was described as this very exciting winger who knows how to beat a man, but there's some problems with end product. He's now 28, and if you ask anyone to describe Diaz, you get a description of an exciting winger who has no end product. But he's now 28 instead of 25, so the room for development has gone. This is Diaz. This is what you've got. Is this enough to win? Is 8 goals across 30 fucking 5 games or whatever he's played this year in the Premier League, good enough to win Liverpool the Premier League title? No. Therefore, you gotta let go. You gotta let go. It would be fine if he was the chief creator, but he isn't either, because that burden's been put on Salah. The reason Salah, Mane, Firmino worked so well was because Roberto Firmino was he was an enigma of a footballer. Any manager in the world would have loved to have Roberto Firmino.
You know, we created the most XG this season, Tom. Someone just sent it to me as we were live.
Yeah,
we
like
underperformed our XG by 9 goals.
I said this. The attack was the problem this season, man. The attack was the problem. Klopp played more than good enough football to win us this league. It weren't perfect yet. We conceded goals, I get it. But I'm not being funny or nothing. When you miss a big chance, that's pressure on your side. It's actually very much more likely you're going to end up conceding after missing 3 fucking on-the-plate chances. And with Nunez and Diaz, unfortunately, that's going to be the case. I like them if we were aiming for top 4. I really do. Do you know if we're like Tottenham? Luis Diaz and Darwin Nunez are fucking perfect for what you want. But we're not Tottenham. We're Liverpool, and we're trying to get above Manchester City here. And that's why when we lost Mane and Firmino, and we replaced them with the players that we did, I've just never looked at Diaz. I've never looked at Nunez and gone, you're going to be a league-winning winger, or you're going to be a league-winning striker. And I don't think those signings get made under Michael Edwards.
Yeah, I'm accepting that. I think even as someone who is very pro Klopp, I accept that his talent idea and his signings is 100% genuinely one of the reasons that cost us this season. I look at the way we underperformed XG, and I'm so glad you said this in front of Tom, because Tom has always
I maintain the defense was a massive problem.
Tom, don't be fraudulent, because now we're about to dunk on you collectively, because you're the one in the group. Let me tell you this. You're the one in the group. Me and James are the scousers. Here's the thing. When it comes to the attack this season, I always maintain the 3 games that cost us the league, where it was all over: Man City, Man United, Palace. Anything that happened after that, I feel like the players gave up mentally, so I genuinely don't give a fuck. I don't think they even thought that they could win the league themselves. Palace 1-0, as soon as the referee blew the whistle, you could see their heads go down. At that moment in time, they realized league's gone. Man City at home, dominate them, more possession, more passes, more everything. Diaz misses a one-on-one right in front of Ederson's face. Man United could have been 5-0 up in the first half away at Old Trafford, but we were only 1-0 up with like 15 XG in that game. Crystal Palace at home. Yes, we lost 1-0, but Jota had a clear-cut chance. Nunez had a clear-cut chance. Salah had a clear-cut chance. Curtis Jones missed a 1-on-1. I could go on and on. That game, we could have won 6-1. So my logic is very simple. Man City, take your chances. Man United, take your chances. Crystal Palace, take your chances. You're top of the league, and you go on to win this league if you're clinical. Simple as. Everton, who many people said was our worst game ever. Diaz and Nunez missed literal sitters.
Even 50% more clinical. If you're 50% more clinical than what you was, you're at least in the title race till the last day. You're at least in the title race to the last day if you're 50% more clinical over the course of the season, which I know is easy to say in hindsight, Tom. And I agree. You know, when you look at a business and you look at the structure of the business, let's say the manager is really underperforming, but then the staff below him are just doing an absolute fuckery and just not doing anything. He says, okay, maybe it's poor management, but then we've also got the element where these guys are making more of a detriment. So we can agree the defence is bad and it's got problems, but then we can also agree that we still were good enough to win games based on the chances we got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so
I've not tried to suggest that the attack is blame-free, but my point has always been, when you're conceding first in over half of your games in a season, you ain't gonna win a league. When the team that was our most successful in the year in Klopp scored less goals than we did this year, but it conceded a hell of a lot less. We had the best defense each of the 3 years. We had a real title challenge. This year we've had the third best. And we've massively, and I mean massively, overperformed XG against. We should have conceded like 6-7 more than we did, just because we've got Alisson and Kelleher in goal. The amount of chances that we conceded, the lack of control we had in games, the lack of control we had in games because we were so open at the back, that was a big problem for me. The attack was an individual error. The attack was down to individuals. The attackers was individual problems. Individuals didn't finish their chances. The defence was a systematic error, because no matter who was in that back line, the same problems were there. That was my big gripe. Jurgen Klopp could have fixed the defence because it was a systematic problem. We were throwing too many men forwards. The attack The attack was just down to the fact that Jota couldn't stay fit, and Diaz and Nunez were missing chance after
Yeah, but me and
chance
you both
after
know Klopp
chance
don't do
after
that
chance.
possession style stuff. We all know he plays gung-ho football. We could have won the league with gung-ho football if our forwards are clinical. Full stop. That's it.
But you don't. Have you missed my entire point of you could have just won the league anyway if you just fixed your defensive structure? The same problems that we had defensively from match day 1 with their match day 38. Across the season, you're supposed to fix it. But we never fixed it. If anything, it got fucking worse. And we looked more open and we looked more exposed. And we had to rely on Alisson and Kelleher to pull off worldly save after worldly save. And yes, I know there are goalkeepers and that's their job. But I still shouldn't have to rely on it. We should be stopping our goalkeeper from having to face 7, 8 shots a game. They should only have to face 1 or 2. That's the difference for me.
I hear it. Let's
Yeah,
see
no,
if Slot
I
can
hear
do
it.
that next season. Yeah, let's see if Slot can do that next season. Let me read these 2 super chats before we get out of here. Big up to Ryan, who says Naby did way more for us than Thiago. Hussam, all you do is disrespect Robbo. He's a club legend. Yeah, he shouldn't start for us anymore, but respect him. So my point is, sell him this summer, get a new left back. You're disrespecting Robbo. How am I disrespecting him? He ain't been the same the last 2-3 years. This ain't 18, 19, 19, 20. We have to move on. Ait Nouri. Bring me Ait Nouri. He's a baller. I'm not like certain people who want Matson. Big up to you, Ryan. Big up to Sting, who says, big up 30K. Anyone suggesting LFC have a chance to challenge with this fraud is just biased or stupid. If Chabby, then fair. Fans need to see reality. Hashtag slot out.
That is ridiculous. That is actually ridiculous. Honestly. That is ridiculous. I've never saw such a dumb statement in my life, which is fine. And he can come back in November and say, oh, James, I told you, but no, I can't agree with that.
What happens if Slot actually is good next year? And all these people who've come in here going, Slot out without ever fucking touching down in Liverpool. All of a sudden, the day I see the words, they just go, no, it's just a bit of a laugh and a bit of banter.
But that's what happens. There's no accountability for some of the things you say nowadays, so you can just say away. You know what I mean?
But where was my apologies for Nunez?
Do you know what?
Where was my apologies for Diaz? The reverse doesn't happen.
Where was my apologies for Enzo, lad?
I apologize to Endo like fucking December. It's May.
Okay,
Get
good.
over it.
Okay,
James.
good.
Get over it, James. We fucking apologized to Endo 500 times. Yay. And then he still got cooked by Crystal Palace. All I wanted was fucking Jean-Philippe Mateta and we would have been league champions. But instead I've got to work with that fucking Uruguayan.
Can I just say?
Uruguayan Andy Carroll, fucking Uruguayan Timo Werner up front who's fucking useless. That's what I had.
That Mateta chant that
Nunez.
Usam, we're on the same boat there, lad. We're on the same boat.
That Mateta chant that Palace have is a fucking banger, by the way. It must be fucking annoying when you can see they start playing fucking banger boys, but it's a fucking banging chant.
Yeah, it is.
Big up Mateta. Anyway, listen, we're gonna wrap up the Liverpool review right here, right now. Big up to James. Big up to Tom. It's been absolutely incredible, review. Big up to Ed. Big up to Ray, Sidi. Big up to Felipe. Big up to Edward. Big up to Dimitar. And big up to Singh for the super chats. Big up to every single one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing. I'm going to be back tonight, inshallah, for the Europa League watch along, where I will be supporting Bayer Leverkusen. Inshallah, former future Liverpool manager. I hope that's Xabi Alonso, you get me. He's about to do the invincible travel. Big up to all of you guys. James Redmond TV is in the description. Go subscribe. Tom Little is in the description. Go subscribe to both these channels. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button on your way out. And I'm going to see you guys later on the watch along. Peace out.